steunpilaar van Jos.
What I do for Jos is we look at the technical aspect of the car. So we decide on gear ratios, wing levels, springs, setup, tires, and obviously software, what traction control maps we're going to run. And so I will look at the circuit we are going to and look at each circuit is special and each circuit requires something different. And that's where experience comes into it. So we kind of know what to prepare for Barcelona, where the pitfalls are. And so I will prepare all the options.
So you do a lot of work already before you come to the track?
I'd say at least 70% of the work is done before we arrive at the track. And then, like today, Jos and I will sit down. I'll go through what I think. He'll go through what he thinks, because he's got a wealth of experience as well. We'll combine the two and see what's achievable in the time level we have and set priorities on items.
If you look at the track of Barcelona, it says turn 3 is very important. Why?
Barcelona is very hard on tires, mainly because it's got a lot of high-speed corners. In turn 3 is particularly bad in that it can make you very slow very quickly because it's very long corner, but it's also very high speed. So you have to find a good balance in the car. If you have too much understeer, the front tires will go away very quickly, and if you've got too much oversteer, the rear tires will go away very quickly. And so you kind of have to target the car, make the car good in that corner, and kind of survive the rest of the corners.
Working for Minardi has some restrictions because you don't have that much money to spend. If you would have had some extra money, what would you have liked to change first at the car?
One of the first things that come to mind is the gearbox. We've run the gearbox casing essentially, and the suspension pickup points on the gearbox casing. One of the big problems I have in trying to set the car up is the dampers sit vertically in the casing, and as a result they're very short, and so we're very limited on the wheel travel we can achieve. And so even if you go softer on the spring, you can't really gain the advantage because the softer spring means more wheel travel, but you can't use that wheel travel. And I think Imola was a good example of that in qualifying with Jos, where he went off on the curb. But I believe had we had more wheel travel, we could adapt the car better. I mean, some circuits, it's more important than other circuits.
How important is it here at Barcelona?
Barcelona, no, it's not that important. The curbs aren't that big. There's no real lap time in the curbs. But Imola, for example, or Monza, it's very important. And but there's nothing we can do about that one.
You also worked with Jos in a period with arrows. Has he changed?
No, I think he's driving better now than what he drove at Arrows. What's nice with Jos now is that he is learning to adapt his driving style. Every circuit is unique, as you know. We need different tires, we need different this and that. But we also need a different driving style. And in Arrows, Jos had one driving style, and that was it. So he was quick in some circuits and very slow in other circuits. And now he's learning to adapt his driving style. And I think it's becoming quite effective. I'm quite impressed with what I've seen. Considering he hasn't driven for a year, he's come back with a lot more knowledgeable driver and a lot more tools in his pocket to help the car. For me, Jos is fantastic. He says it the way it is, and that's what we want. And it's always, sometimes he's controversial because people don't want to hear certain things, but it makes it a lot easier to work with him because he just says it what he feels.
Nou, Greg, die ken ik natuurlijk al, ik denk 2,5 jaar. Ja, de samenwerking verloopt zeer, zeer goed. We bellen elkaar bijna elke dag. Nou, we hebben het over van alles. En hij houdt me natuurlijk op hoogte wat binnen het team gebeurt allemaal.
Samenwerking bevalt dus goed. Is het meer dan zomaar een engineer?
Ja, dat zeker. Ik nodig hem elk jaar ook uit bij ons thuis. En dan gaan we een dagje karten en dan gaan we een dagje met de quad rijden. Gewoon ook een beetje vriendschap, denk ik.